Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Money Mondays. My name is Belinda Ray. Woohoo! I am the Director of Strategic Partnerships here at GPCOG, and I'm here with my colleague.
I'm Paul Johnson. I'm the Director of Economic and Community Development here at GPCOG.
So, Paul, today I pointed up because on my screen you're above me.
Oh, okay.
Last time I pointed this way, and then I watched the video and you were on my other side
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
video.
yeah.
So I was like, I should just stop doing that. Um, yeah, so welcome everybody. We are ready to jump right into our Monday topics. If you have questions as we're going through, please go ahead and type them into the chat or the Q&A, and we'll handle them at the end. And with that, we are off and running. Paul.
Yes, and a quick programming note. I believe we're taking next Monday off because it's President's Day. I think it's a federal holiday for us. So we will see you in 2 weeks, and we'll repeat that at the end of this as well. As most of you know, is from time to time, I just highlight certain organizations in the area that help small businesses or medium businesses. And I don't believe I have presented Maine and Company just yet. So today I'm going to give you a 3-minute overview of Maine and Company. What is Maine and Company? It is a private nonprofit corporation. So it is, and it has its board. If you click on its board, it's made up of a who's who of pretty much all the big players as far as here in Maine. And it also has representatives from the Chamber of Commerce, president, and of course, the Maine's DECD, the Department of Economic and Community Development. So it's a collaboration between essentially the state and the private sector. And you can see the influence of the private sector throughout Maine and Company's activities. Specifically, Maine and Company offers consulting services for businesses to relocate to Maine or expand within Maine. So they do help Maine businesses, of course, expand. But if you're wondering like, hey, where's the welcome wagon or what's a good arm to send somebody who's exploring a new area or is coming overseas or coming from Massachusetts, and you're an economic development director and perhaps you want to point them in a direction that might help augment what you're offering a business that is looking to expand or to come here in Maine, Maine and Company is a great resource. They do real estate site searches, data collection analysis, financial coordinations, incentive identifications for maybe a TIF or other tax breaks, site coordination, site visit coordination, and workforce analysis. Workforce analysis being a popular one right now. It's important for many places coming to Maine on what is our workforce capable of doing. So if you are, again, if you are a economic development director and you could use some assistance with this, these guys are great. If you're a business owner or any other staff member in our audience, this is a tremendous resource for Maine companies looking to expand or to come here in Maine. And specifically, I just had coffee with Addie, so I'm going to put Addie's picture up here. This is Addie LaRoche. She is the Director of Maine Partnerships. So if you want to have coffee and figure out more and have somebody that actually knows exactly what they're talking about with Maine and Company, reach out to Addie. That's her job, is to make all these connections. And her and I had a great conversation last week, I believe, in Portland. And if any of this piques your interest, I encourage you to reach out to Addie directly and say, hey, I heard about you on Monday Mondays and Paul Johnson at GPCOG, and I'd love to chat with you. Because it's a tremendous resource. Not everybody knows about it. So I encourage everybody to get to know it just a little bit more.
Awesome. Thank you, Paul. And today I am talking about Project Canopy, which is an opportunity that comes from the Maine Forest Service. And what this is an annual grant process that comes through the Department of Agriculture, Conservation, and Forestry. The 2025 grants are coming soon. It's not open yet, but the 2024 timeline was that the grant process opened in early February. There was a mandatory workshop on February 28th. Then there are a couple of opportunities for office hours with a May 15th grant deadline. So we're off next week, as Paul mentioned, for President's Day. And I was kind of afraid that if I didn't do this today, then we'd come back after President's Day and you'd only have 4 days to sign up for the workshop if it follows a similar timeline, which I suspect it will. So it's important to be watching this grant portal now, and I'll give you that link when we get to the end. But what it will help you with, I know there won't be any palm trees planted in Maine, but I just liked that little icon. There are 3 types of assistance grants that they have here in 2024, and it's been this way for several years, so we have no reason to think 2025 will be vastly different. These are the 3 categories: the assistance planning and education grant, the planting and maintenance grant. The third one is Inflation Reduction Act grant. That one, given everything that's going on, could change, but I'm going to highlight it here today. Anyway, they have different focuses. The assistance planning and education one is about forestry management and education. Planting and maintenance, as you can imagine, is about tree planting and maintenance. And then the Inflation Reduction Act, Urban Community Forestry Grant, has really wide-ranging applications. They have different amounts you can get from them, 20, 15, and then the IRA one was up to 200,000. And we'll just go through and look at what each one allows you to do for activities. So with the planning and education one, this is if your town needs to do a street tree inventory. If you want to start planning, what is our canopy? Where are our trees? How much of our area is covered? You could do an inventory. You can start to do some long range planning. If you wanted to get a tree board together to help you work on your tree canopy, increasing it, monitoring it, whatever. These kinds of things you can do with the planning and education grant. The planting and maintenance allows you to do, I think it's pretty obvious, planting and maintenance, but they're all different kinds, right? You might be focusing on a business district and saying, we really want to make this a more dynamic and a more inviting space, so you focus there. You might be looking at ways to create buffers between different uses in your community. Replacement trees. You might even want to develop your own tree nursery to help you continue to have trees to work with. Green infrastructure. These things are all eligible in that middle bucket. And then the Inflation Reduction Act bucket is a yes and. It's all of this and the other things that you see listed there. So lots and lots of possibilities. Municipalities are eligible. Educational institutions, nonprofits. In 2024, if you want to do the Inflation Reduction Act one, these were the tracts within our region that were eligible last year because it is linked to the Inflation Reduction Act. So if that one continues, those are likely to be the same spots. Key features, anywhere from 15K to 200K, depending on which grant you're looking at. There's a 50% local match required for those first 2 buckets, the 15,000 and the 20,000, the planting and maintenance and the education and forestry management one. The IRA had no cost share. You've got 36 months from when you get the award to finish your project. And the big thing here is that you have to attend that first workshop. So if this grant opportunity comes out and you don't register for the workshop, you're out of luck. You have to attend in order to apply. It's like a community development block grant. You have to attend those early meetings or you're out of luck. You need to have a unique entity identifier through SAM, which I'm guessing our municipalities all do, but if you don't, that's a good thing to do. Oh, I didn't give it a number. Difficulty, blank. I'm gonna say 3 on this one because it's an online portal. It's pretty simple. There's a 3-page max for the narrative. They want you to have letters of support if you have other people involved. But again, you want to keep a watch on this portal for when this comes out. Here is the grant page. And again, I'll say it one more time, when it's posted, register for that workshop. In the meantime, you can look at last year's application guidelines. They have 3 separate applications. Those first 2, I think, are probably going to be exactly the same. So good to look at those and see what kind of information you need to assemble. And here is the person from DACF who you would contact for more information. So there is that. And as Paul said, we are off next week for President's Day. Back after that with a fresh Money Mondays for you. I hope you all have a wonderful week and a wonderful 3-day weekend.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye.